Let us discuss the second law of thermodynamics, or the law of, or the principle behind heat engine. Always remember, students, never the heat supplied will be converted into work completely. This is nothing but second law of thermodynamics. So all the heat that is supplied to a system cannot be completely converted into work. That means efficiency cannot be 100%. So what is heat engine? Heat engine is nothing but a cyclic device which converts heat into work. But remember, this heat cannot be completely converted into work. Some amount of heat will be lost in the process, and we will not get the work 100%. So having mostly three parts, that is the source, that is the hot body which supplies heat. Then we are having the gas, that is the working substance to which we supply heat, and the working substance does some work, and whatever extra heat which is not converted into work is rejected to the cold body, that is the sink. The cold body is the sink. The source is kept at constant high temperature T1 and it is kept at constant low temperature T2. So please remember, whatever work is done by a heat engine is nothing but Q1 minus Q2, and the efficiency of any heat engine is nothing but the amount of work done per unit heat supplied. So Q1 minus Q2 by Q1. So efficiency of any heat engine is nothing but 1 minus Q2 by Q1 into 100%. This is nothing but the efficiency of any heat engine. So let us discuss now what is a Carnot's engine. A Carnot's engine is a perfect heat engine. Means a Carnot's engine uses ideal gas and its efficiency is maximum. And none of the real engines is Carnot's engine because efficiency cannot be perfect. The gas cannot be, the engine cannot be perfect. That is against the second law of thermodynamics. So let us discuss the parts of Carnot's engine. So Carnot's engine is basing on this heat engine principle, that whenever heat is supplied from the source to the working substance or the gas will do some work and the rest of the amount of heat is rejected to the sink. So let us discuss the working behind the Carnot's engine. So what is the Carnot's engine comprising of? What is the construction of Carnot's engine? So Carnot's engine has a source or a hot body which supplies heat to the working substance. So this is the working substance which contains a cylinder and a movable piston which does the work. So the source is always at high temperature, constant temperature T1 with high heat capacity. Similarly, the sink takes the rejected heat from the working substance and is kept at low temperature T2 always. And the other fourth part of Carnot's engine is nothing but the insulating stand. Insulating stand provides insulation to the working substance because the working substance has a conducting base. All other sides of the working substance is not conducting, only the base of the working substance is conducting. That means it can conduct heat. So the insulating stand provides insulation to the working substance. So there are four parts to a Carnot's engine. So what are the four steps or the four parts of the Carnot's engine? We will discuss one by one. So the first part is nothing but isothermal expansion. So what happens in isothermal expansion? The working substance is kept on the source at constant temperature T1. So obviously the working substance will take heat Q1 and start expanding at constant temperature. That means it is an isothermal process. So whatever heat is supplied during isothermal process, it will be converted totally into work, and that work done is nothing but work done during an isothermal process. So work done during an isothermal process is nothing but Nr T1. Let the volume V1 to V2. So Nr T1 log V2 by V1 is the amount of heat taken from the source and which is converted into work. So let this be the amount of work done. Now the gas is now brought down to the insulating stand so that it will expand adiabatically. So I am bringing the working substance, keeping it on the insulating stand. That means it is insulated through all sides. That is, no exchange of heat is taking place inside the working substance, and the gas is now expanding for some time adiabatically. So adiabatic expansion occurs and the temperature of the gas slowly decreases because it is using its own internal energy to do some work. So that's why the temperature will decrease from T1 to T2. Now let us bring the working substance and keep it on the sink. Now the temperature is again constant. Here during the first process the temperature was constant at T1. Now the temperature will be at T2 because the working substance is kept on the sink. So isothermal compression will occur because the sink will absorb the heat from the working substance. So some amount of heat will be rejected and compression will occur. So the gas will compress and again some work will be done. Let that work done will be negative, and we know during compression the work done is nothing but negative nR T2 log V4 by V3, where V4 and V3 is the nothing but the change in volume from V3 to V4. And finally, what is the amount of work done in adiabatic compression? We are bringing the working substance back to the insulating stand. Again it will be adiabatic process because it is insulated from all sides and compression will occur, and the gas will slowly compress and the temperature will slowly rise from T2 to T1. So this is the amount of work done during isothermal compression, and this is the amount of work done during isothermal expansion, and that is nothing but Q1 and Q2. If I draw the Carnot's engine graphically, the isothermal expansion from P1 to P2 will be represented by this graph. Adiabatic expansion will be represented by this graph, that is from P2V2 to P3V3. Then third process, that is isothermal compression, will be represented by this graph, that is from P3V3 to P4V4. That's why I am writing the volume changes V4 and V3 here. And finally the work done here will be adiabatic compression, that is from P4V4 to P2V2. So here it is temperature is T1 and here the temperature is T2. This is an isothermal expansion, this is isothermal compression, this is adiabatic expansion and this is adiabatic. So for a Carnot's engine, if I draw the PV graph, this is the cyclic process graph, and the area enclosed by the graph will give us the total work done by the Carnot's engine. So total work done W is nothing but Q1 minus Q2. We can subtract both the values, or we can also write it as area enclosed by the graph, enclosed by the PV graph. So what is the efficiency of Carnot's engine? Efficiency of Carnot's engine is nothing but 1 minus Q2 by Q1. Please remember, efficiency of any Carnot's engine is 1 minus Q2 by Q1, or it can be 1 minus T2 by T1, where what is T2? T2 is the temperature of the sink and T1 is nothing but the temperature of source. So a Carnot's engine, the efficiency depends on the temperature of the source and temperature of the sink taken in absolute scale. The temperature should be in Kelvin scale. This is nothing but the working of Carnot's engine. Now let us discuss what is a refrigerator. Students, please remember that a refrigerator is nothing but a reverse Carnot's engine or a reverse heat engine, where the refrigerator removes heat from a cold body. That is, it removes heat from cold body or the sink, and work is done on the working substance. That means we supply some work done or apply some work and it removes Q2 amount of heat, and both work and heat is rejected to the source, that is the body at higher temperature. So let T1 be the T2 be the source sink temperature and T1 be the source temperature, and Q1 is the total heat rejected to the source. So please remember that refrigerator is nothing but a reverse Carnot's engine where we supply work, we give work, or work is done on the substance, and it removes Q2 heat from the cold body or the sink and rejects the total heat to the source. So we can write down that Q1 is equals to Q2 plus W. And a refrigerator, the quality of a refrigerator is by seeing the coefficient of performance of a refrigerator. And coefficient of performance is what? It is nothing but the amount of heat rejected to the heat removed from the sink to the amount of work supplied to the working substance. More is the heat removed from the sink, more will be the performance of the refrigerator. Less is the work done on the working substance, more will be the performance of the refrigerator. Q2 by W is nothing but the coefficient of performance, or I can write Q2 by W can be written as, if I use this equation, it is nothing but Q1 minus Q2, or I can write in terms of temperature T2 by T2 is nothing but the coefficient of performance of a refrigerator. The larger the value of K, better performance or better the refrigerator will cool the body.